Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare.
All right, let's begin. Om ajïäna-timirändhasya jnananjana-çaläkayä cakñurunmílitam yena tasmai Shri Guruve namaha. Shri Chaitanya manobhishtam sthapitam yena bhutale swayam rupa kadamayyam dadati swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yutpad Kamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vancha Kalpatrubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Sadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tviche Namaha. We are on chapter 8 and here we are discussing about death. And Bhagwan told us how we should live this world. We came here ignorantly, but we will not go out ignorantly. We will not exit ignorantly. We will exit with full knowledge of how to exit. And how we are going to exit? By remembering Krishna. Bhagwan. One second, I have to just. All right. So, Bhagwan showed different methods of exiting. We'll just revise it one more time. He started saying, at the time of death, whatever consciousness you have, you will achieve that consciousness in the next birth. So if you die in animal consciousness, what is animal consciousness? We are in between animal and devatas. We have been given wisdom to think higher. And we should use our wisdom at every step for making decisions. We should not become more animalistic. We should go to our higher self. It requires willpower. It requires determination. We should not live ignorantly. We should always be in awareness. And to live like this requires a lot of courage. We should not give up. We should live courageously. So, I discussed last time, my guru taught me that your consciousness will decide your next life. But that consciousness that you build happens throughout your life. The topics that are going in your head is deciding what you're going to be in the next life. My guru also told me pigeons. He said, people always in the thought of sex, not controlling it. So there's an example in our Puranas. You become like pigeons in your next life. They'll have a lot of sex. Everything that you're doing, you have to come out of this animal mentality. Hoarding things. Oh, I won't leave this, I won't leave that. Every little small thing you want to just hoard. If something is lost, I've seen people, they get restless what to do. That hoarding mentality is like the squirrel. I used to put grains in my backyard and I see that the crow comes, crow eats and goes. Crow doesn't do anything. Other birds, they will come, they will eat and they will go. But the squirrel will come, eat something, and then fill its throat with so much grains. Like literally, it will be like puffed up completely. And then it will go and dig the ground and put everything over there. I put bread for the animals. The crows will come, they'll take the bread, they'll eat and go. The squirrel, even before the crow comes, has to take all that bread and go and hide it in the ground. And I'm in my head thinking, squirrel, you don't know, hiding that bread in the ground, you're only going to get fungus. But how dumb are you? But this habit of the squirrel, I found it in humans also. I knew of a person. If somebody has given, in India, they give sweets. When somebody has come to your home, people take sweets. So our sweets are usually made out of milk. So that person is not eating. Get that sweet. Oh, milk product, milk sweet. Put it in the fridge. You're not tasting it yourself, hoarding it. After some time, you see there's a thin layer of fungus growing, green layer. So now what? You have to eat, right? Or you have to throw. No. How can we throw? Let's eat it up. So you remove the upper layer of the fungus and whatever is remaining you eat. After that, the fungus is going at a very rapid rate. So then what do? You take it and give it to somebody. So this person used to give it to janitor. I saw it and I'm like, why? Why? This is not edible. You can't eat. If you cannot eat, then why do you give to somebody else? Throw it off. The fungus is eaten up. If you don't eat it, nature will eat. Nature has given fungus this role to eat up those things which a human cannot consume. So don't worry. Don't give it to anybody else. But no, this person's mentality. No. We have to give things to others who cannot afford sweets. This is punya. And I'm in my head thinking, this is punya. What is your theory of punya? Punya means gathering merits. I did some charity. I gave this expensive sweets to this person. So I did charity. I'm like, a sweet full of fungus. Expiry date. This is what you're giving? What kind of mentality is that? So why I'm saying this is what is the animal mentality. You are a human, but you are behaving like that squirrel. You're behaving like that. People steal. I've seen in offices hoarding. They can afford pens, they can afford papers, they can afford everything. They have enough money, they have good salaries. But that, stealing, hoarding. If something is available for free, take it, hoard it. It is not useful to me, but hoard it. This habit is just like the rats going everywhere. Wherever things are available, get it. I have seen, people, middle class families who can afford good things. But if the government gives some subsidies to the underprivileged, this middle class people will go and take their subsidies. If government is throwing food, people who can eat food, they are throwing food for those who cannot afford it, those on the street. These middle class people, they can afford, but they'll go, no, it's coming for free. We should hoard it. Hoard it. What for are you hoarding? Karmas. So this is animalistic tendency. Hoarding. See, you are getting attached to every little thing. Every small thing. But hoarding. So you die. You want to hoard grains. Become a rat next life, no problem. Hoard as much grains as you want. Become a squirrel. Hoard it. Put it. Hide it. People hide it from people. Hoarders. Become a squirrel. Become a crow. You want to continue that tendency. You want to enjoy that. Become a crow. No problem. So we have been given this human life to change our consciousness. We have been given wisdom. We have been given will. We have been given courage. And we have been given freedom. People ask me, do we have free will? Yes. You have the free will, you have the freedom to act. But if you do not, because wisdom has been given, but if you do not act correctly, then when the time comes to suffer, like you have gone, next life, this life was given, but next life you become a squirrel or a crow, what will you do? You have to behave like that. Nature is not going to give you any freedom anymore. Nature is going to manage you. So the choice is yours. Every step of the way, we have to be very wise. So when you hear all this, it seems to be very difficult. It's like, how can we live like this all the time? It's very difficult to live so wisely, so controlled. We have habits, preconditioned habits. It's very difficult to change the conditioning. We have sanskaras from past life. So difficult to change the conditioning. What do we do? So Bhagwan has given the easy way out. Remember me. Remember me. Today, I did 9th chapter in the Hindi class, and the last shloka that we ended up, Bhagwan says, whatever you do, give it to me. 8th chapter, he has started saying, at the time of death, those who remember me will come to me. So that consciousness of remembering him, we have to develop. Right now, our consciousness may be hoarding. Right now, our consciousness is in hoarding money or, saving money. Our consciousness is in whatever we are doing. But all we have to do is change that consciousness into remembering God. Remembering who is God. Bhagwan Uvacha, Bhagwan Uvacha, Bhagwan in this thing. Bhagwan is Krishna. So that consciousness has to become Krishna consciousness. We become Krishnaized. Instead of hoarding consciousness, Krishna consciousness. Animal consciousness to Krishna consciousness. Human consciousness to Krishna consciousness. That's all you have to develop. And it is very easy. Bhagwan says, chant my name, chant my name, chant my name, think of me, think of me. So, whoever remembers Bhagwan at the end of his life, they come to me. And therefore, oh Arjun, you must think of me and at the same time carry out all your duties. Your mind and intelligence fixed on me, you will achieve me without any doubt. And how do you achieve this? Abhyas yoga yuktena chetasa nanyagamina. Abhyas, do practice. Practice, practice, practice. Your mind constantly engaged in remembering me, undeviated from the path. If somebody is doing that, Bhagwan says, oh Parth is sure to reach me. And different methods he has taught. One of the methods he's taught is meditation, dhyana. Daily you train your mind, you sit at one place, bring your mind to your heart, or bring your mind here and think of him as the light. You can think of him as the person who knows everything. He is the oldest, he is the controller, he is the witness, he is the maintainer, he is everywhere, he is like the sun, he is beyond this material nature. So you can meditate upon him. And at the time of death, one who fixes his life air between the eyebrows. So at the time of death, air is leaving first. So all your air has to come here, attention has to be here. And by the strength of yoga, with an undeviating mind, engages himself into remembering the Supreme Lord. Here he has mentioned the third person, the Supreme Lord. It is for the Gyanis, because the Gyanis do not want to see Bhagwan as a form. Gyanis want to see Bhagwan as somebody, Tad Brahma, So Bhagwan is Brahma, Bhagwan is a super conscious energy. So for him, he is saying, okay, meditate on whatever that super conscious energy. With full devotion, he will also attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then he said, persons who are learned in the Vedas, who utter Omkara, and great sages in this renounced order of life, achieve that Brahman, enter into that Brahman. Desiring such perfection, one practices Bramhcharya, and I will now briefly explain this process of Bramhcharya. The yogic situation is that of detachment from all sensual engagements, closing all the doors of senses and fixing the mind on the heart and the life air at the top of the head. One establishes himself on the yoga. He has given all the method also. This, if you practice daily, if you want to go this way, sincerely practice this daily, then at the time of death, it will become easy because you have practiced it. So it becomes easy. And after being situated like this, now Bhagwan has given two things here. Because death is a very tough time. It's not easy to do all this. But still, if somebody is doing it, maybe while you are awake, awake, while you're alive, it is very easy to practice meditation. But when you're in trouble, when the body is aching, hurting, it's very difficult to meditate. At the time of death, that is the situation. It's worse. The pain is like beyond your thoughts. So in that pain, sitting and doing this and remembering the Omkar, all this you have to do. It is very tough. But if somebody does that and leaves the body, they are going to the Brahma path. Yes, Bhagwan has mentioned. But along with that, Bhagwan is now giving one more savior thing. One more clue he has given. At that time, Viharan, Om iti ekaksharam, Brahma, Viharan, you must chant Om and Mam Anusmaran. Remember me. So you had faith in Om, remember the Om, and remember me. Understand this. Gita is the most important book in all schools of spirituality. It's only people in the world, worldly people who think they are very knowledgeable, they don't want to get into Gita. But let me tell you, all Rishi, Muni, Mahatmas, Yogis, any school, Gita, they know. I have met very high class souls, okay, realized souls. And I knew how much they valued Gita. And it seems stupid to tell in front of them, oh, Gita, what is there in Gita? Because our conception of Gita is what they show it in TV. You think we know Gita, but no. Imagine this little thing here. Such a small point, such subtle. Anybody reads it, they'll miss it up. They'll miss it. But Bhagwan has taken care of that point. Meditate on this and you know. Om iti ekaksharam. Meditate on the Om and at the same time, think of me. How easy it is to, even if you're dying, how easy it is to think of Krishna. How easy. Even if you're not able to see his face clearly, maybe you will see some figure. The Tribhangi pose with the flute, you'll be able to see. If you have read the Gita throughout your life, meditated upon that, these words will come. Or Bhagwan will make an arrangement from somewhere it is going to enter your ears. And how easy it will become for you to remember God. How easy he has made that. When I'm talking all this, sometimes people don't relate because they think they're going to live forever. But that's not the thing. COVID has given us lessons. Anytime it will come. But if you have heard this today, this will be your savior. If you cannot do all these processes, no worries. Can you remember Bhagwan? Can you remember Bhagwan? Somehow. That is what you have to do. So, Om iti ekaksharam Brahma, Vyaharan, vibrate the syllable Om, and Mam Anusmaran, remember me. Ya prayati, Tejat deham, that person who leaves his body like this, Sa yati paramamgatim, that person will also go to that paramgati. Paramgati means the greatest destination, spiritual planets. So this was for the yogi Paramatma. So there are three categories. Okay, one is the Jnani. The Jnanis they don't believe in the forms. Jnani only believe in Jnana and the Nad, the internal sound. So they are meditating on that. So they will go to the Brahma Jyoti, Brahmalok planets. Then there are the other ones who are remembering, who do both. So they remember God as a form in their heart. They are yogis. They remember God in form in their heart always, and they're always chanting the syllable Om. So they are also getting this destination. And there are third category like us, simple people. Very difficult to meditate or do all these things, whatever is mentioned here. So for us, simple. We just take the mala and keep chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. If we don't have the mala, we are cooking, we are singing Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. If we are working, we put the headphones. Prabhupada is standing there. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. We are driving. We are going out somewhere to pick up our kids from school. The bhajan is Hare Krishna, Krishna. You only know that. Throughout the day, whatever we are doing, the sound is going somewhere and we are listening. In the night, we sleep. Bhagwan, whatever I did today by my mind, action, and speech, whatever I did today, I surrender it to you. We remember him in our heart. We offer all our love to him. And then we sleep peacefully. Bhagwan, thank you for the beautiful day. Now we are sleeping. Now you take care. And we sleep nicely. And we get up in the morning. Bhagwan, thank you for the beautiful day. One more day. Please be my guide. Please guide my mind. Whatever I'm going to do by my mind, action, and speech, oh my Lord, I surrender it to you. We start our day with this. Until noon, we do whatever we do. We go to office, we read some, whatever work we are doing, household work, outside work. God, this is all your seva. We are surrendered to you. Lunchtime, we make nice, beautiful thali for Bhagwan, offer it to him. Bhagwan, come, let's have lunch together. Bhagwan, I made this, I'm offering it to you. And Bhagwan, whatever I did from the morning till the afternoon, oh my Lord, I surrender it to you. Done. Back to work again. God, I may take a little nap. I'm going to take a little rest. Take care of me. Then back to work. Evening also, sit down, make some bhoga for Bhagwan. Bhagwan, let's have some snack time. This is how we live. This is our simple life. In the night, again, pray something. Sleep well. If tonight is a night, Bhagwan, I surrender to you. I love you very much. Sleep well. That's how our day goes. Bhagwan says, if somebody is like this, such a simple person, what happens to them? They are not able to sit and focus on the air and what happens to them? Bhagwan says, they ananya-cheta satatam yomam ananya-chetaha satatam yomam smarati nityashah tasyaham sulabha partha nityayuktasya yoginaha. Oh, such a person, one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to obtain. O son of Partha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. So for us, easiest. And what happens? Mamupetya punarjanma dukhalayam ashashvatam nanupuvanti mahatmanah samsiddhim paramam gatihi. After attaining me, the great souls who are yogi in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries, because they have attained the highest perfection. Brahma bhuvana loka punaravartino Arjuna mamupetya tu kaunteya punarajanmana vidyate. From the highest planet, which is called Brahmalok, Satyalok. So we have planets. We are on the earth planet. Om bhur bhuva swaha mahajana tapa satyam. So when we leave body, so these yogis, the previous yogis, which he was mentioning, these yogis have controlled everything. They are muktatmas. So there are two types of muktis, two types of way you go. It is mentioned in the Bhagavatam. One is the Sadya Mukti, Krama Mukti. So in Krama Mukti, these people have mastered it. So they go to the Brahmaloka. So they decide, okay, Earth, I have seen what Earth is. I want to go and visit the other planets. So they decide to go gradually. So from here, they will go to Swargaloka. From there, they might go to Mahaloka, Janaloka. They go to Tapaloka. All these lokas, Maha, Jana, Tapa, these lokas, there are all saintly peoples, those who are very big tapasvis, those ascetics who have done a lot of tapasya here. They go to all these lokas. They stay there. They have figured it out. So they, by their own choice, they go there. And then when pralaya happens, when the destruction will happen, Brahma's loka is also going to go away. We all will go to our Vaikuntha Dham, Bhagwan's Dham. So they know it very well. They stay there. And they are stationed there, in fact. The reason they are stationed there is because they are guiding from there, all earthly people. So many of the saints, they make a choice. They don't want to go to Vaikuntha Loka or Goloka Dham. They make a choice. They don't want to go there. They want to be sitting there and helping earthly beings who want to come back. So this is Krama Mukti. In one order, it goes. But there's another Mukti, Sadya Mukti. Some people, simple people like us, we are like Bhagwan. We just want to be with you. So for them, remember Bhagwan's name and go to Bhagwan's Loka. So Bhagwan says, all the way till Brahma Loka, that coming back, to earth and then going back will happen. Keep going on. But one who comes to my place, Punarjanam na vidyate, he doesn't have to take birth. So then the question comes, so if they are liberated, then they will never come? Let me tell you. Persons like Ramakrishna Paramahansa, Prabhupada, Yogananda, Lahari Mashe, they've all come. They come to serve. They come to do some role. But they come liberated. For some time, Yogamaya may make them forget things. Yogamaya may make them feel like, okay, they are just like any other human being for some time. But slowly, they will revive everything. Their consciousness, they will revive. And then they're free. Why they have come? They will serve people and then they'll go back. So, Punarjanam na vidyate, Bhagwan says, yes, Punarjanam na vidyate means even if they come as liberated souls. And they realize it. They are not bound. They are not attached to anything worldly. They are not bound by anything. Ramakrishna Paramahansa, do you think he was bound by anything? Nothing. He left. He came in a body, he left. Vivekananda came in a body, he left. So they are not bound to anything worldly. Punarjanam na vidyate. So they will come. They might come again in future. But they come as liberated souls. That is the only difference. Others who live without practicing this, they come as conditioned souls again and again, again and again. So, Abrahma bhuvana loka punaravartino Arjuna mamupettetu kaunteya punarjanam na vidyate. From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death take place. But one who attains my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Sahasrayuga paryantam aryat brahmano viduhu ratrim yuga sahasranta teho ratro vido janaha. By human calculation, and 1,000 ages taken together form the duration of Brahma's one day. And such also is the duration of his night. So Brahma's day, the calculation is given here. This whole existence, there are 4 yugas, we say, Satyuga, Dwapar, Treta, and then we are in Kali Yuga. So all these 4 yugas form one day of Brahma. And similarly, these 4 yugas will form one night of Brahma. So one day of Brahma is called Kalpa. And that consists of 1,000 cycles of 4 yugas, Satya, Treta, Dwapar, and Kali. The cycle of Satya is characterized by virtue, wisdom, and religion. There being practically no ignorance and vice, and the yugas last 1,728,000 years. In the Treta Yuga, vice is introduced, and this yuga lasts 296,000 years. In Dwapar Yuga, there is an even greater decline in virtue and religion, vice increasing. And this yuga lasts 864,000 years. And finally, in Kali Yuga, the yuga we have now been experiencing over the past 5,500 years, there is an abundance of strife, ignorance, irreligion, and vice versa. And true virtue being practically non-existent. And this yuga will last 432,000 years. In Kali Yuga, vices will increase to such a point that at the termination of the yuga, the Supreme Lord himself appears as Kalki Avatar, vanquishes the demons, saves his devotees, and commences another Satyuga. Then the process is set rolling again. These 4 yugas, rotating 1,000 times, comprise one day of Brahma, and the same number comprise one night. Brahma lives 100 of such years and then dies. These 100 years, by earth calculations, total to 311 trillion and 40 billion earth years. So this is the life of Brahma. By these calculations, the life of Brahma seems fantastic and interminable. But from the viewpoint of eternity, it is as brief as lightning flash. In the causal ocean, there are innumerable Brahmas rising and disappearing like bubbles in the Atlantic. Brahma and his creation are all part of the material universe, and therefore they are in constant flux. In the material universes, not even Brahma is free from the process of birth, old age, disease, and death. Brahma, however, is directly engaged in the service of the Supreme Lord in the management of this universe. Therefore, he at once attains liberation. Elevated sannyasis are promoted to Brahma's particular planet, Brahmaloka, which is the highest planet in the material universe and which survives all the heavenly planets in the upper strata of the planetary system. But in due course, Brahma and all the inhabitants of Brahmaloka are subject to death according to the law of material nature. So Brahma is in the service of Bhagwan. So he'll go to Bhagwan's Loka. All those who are in the service of Bhagwan go to Bhagwan's Loka. I am confused. All these millions of years do not work in my brain. Yeah, I know. Don't worry about that. I just read it for everybody else. You don't have to worry. You have to just remember Brahma's life is close to 300 trillion years and some few billion years. It's very long life. Okay, that's all. Don't get into the numbers. And in that Brahma's life, we are there. So one day and one night will make so many years. So our life, human life, is 100 years generally. But the butterfly's life is 3 days. So the butterfly must be thinking, oh my God, the humans live for so many days. But we know how much is 100 years, right? So butterfly's life 3 days, human's life 100 years, a dog's life 15 years. That's how it is. So Brahma's life is 300 trillion years and few billion years. 300 trillion and 40 billion. That's all. Do you remember? Okay. Oh, wow. Aman is giving more numbers to confuse us. Oh my gosh. God. So many zeros. Okay. All right. Okay. 18th shloka. Avyaktad vyaktaya sarva prabhavanti aha ragame ratriyagame praliyanti tatra vyakta samagnyake. At the beginning of Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest from the unmanifest state. And thereafter, when the night falls, they are merged into the unmanifest again. So when Brahma wakes up, first person is Brahma. Then everybody starts coming. He makes this universe and everybody starts coming. And then when Brahma is going to sleep, everybody is dying. So pralaya means destruction happens, annihilation happens. And again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come into being. And with the arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated. But this creation, annihilation will continue. But even if there is nothing, it might so appear that there is nothing. Everything is gone, annihilated, full. There's not even one single creature to be seen anywhere. But still, Bhagwan says, there is one energy that remains, which is eternal. So Brahma is also gone. All universes are gone. But still, one energy, that energy remains. That is my prakriti, para prakriti. That remains. I remain. Yet there is another unmanifest nature which is eternal and is transcendental to the manifested and unmanifested matter. So it is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that remains as it is. Everything is gone. When Brahma is gone, everybody has died everywhere. But even after everything is gone, that energy will remain for some time. Everything is gone into that one energy, prakriti. Basically what happens, the concept is everything goes into Bhagwan's body. So there is a Vishnu form where everything, all the universes are going into Bhagwan's body. And Bhagwan is remaining, Bhagwan is sleeping for a long time. Then when the next creation has to start, Bhagwan opens up, Bhagwan is wakened. He's woken up by our Yogamaya. Get up, let's have play again, let's start the Srishti again. And then the creation starts happening again. And then all the beings which were in Bhagwan's body will come out. We are like what? Consciousness gone into Bhagwan's body. Then the next creation will start. So this concept is given to us. So when the creation starts, everybody comes out from Bhagwan's body. First being will come Brahma, and then Brahma will create everything, and then all of them enter into that. And then Brahma is going to sleep, and then Brahma gets into Bhagwan's body. Everybody gets into Bhagwan's body, and everything has stopped. So that still remains. The energy still remains. So even if Bhagwan is sleeping, that energy, that para prakriti, that Devi is still maintaining Bhagwan, and that para prakriti only wakes up Bhagwan. Get up. So that para prakriti remains. Okay. So that unmanifest is always there. Parastasmatu bhavo anyo vyakto vyaktya sanatanaha yasa sarveshu bhuteshu nashyantu na vinashyati. Even if everything is gone, but that Shakti, that remains. Krishna's superior energy, and that is called Krishna's para prakriti. So it's going to remain. Avyakto akshara iti yuktas tamahu paramam gatim yam prapya na nivartante tad dharma paramam mama. That which the Vedantas describe as the unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which having attained it one never returns, that is my supreme abode. So he says everything might get annihilated, but if somebody has come to my abode is forever there. Nothing can happen to my abode. I am always there. My abode is always there. My prakriti is always there. And one who has come to my abode, he is always there. Purushasa parapartha bhaktya labhastva anyaya yasyantah sthani bhutani yena sarvam midam tatam. How do you achieve that final abode? Bhagwan says, bhaktya, by devotional service. What kind of bhakti? Bhaktya labhastva anyaya. Ananya bhakti. Ananya bhakti means single-pointed bhakti towards Bhagwan. So that's the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attained only by unalloyed devotion. Ananya bhakti, unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all-pervading and everything is situated in him. Yatra kale tu anavrittim chaiva yoginaha prayatayanti tam kalam vakshasyami bharata shivaha. O best of Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which, passing away from this world, the yogi does or does not come back again. So Bhagwan is now giving us auspicious and inauspicious times. So when people die, so he's giving a hint. In our in India, there were some scriptures. I had read it in childhood, but I don't know what the scripture's name is now. So at different times, how people die. So, and symptoms of a person who might die very soon was given. So one of the symptoms given was if somebody is not able to see his shadow, then that person will die within 1 week or 1 month, something like that. So certain things, if some person is not able to feel certain energy in certain part of the body, then that person may die very soon. So all this, so there is a whole book, there is a whole science which our rishis, our researchers they did it to find clues about upcoming death. So one of the clues, and not only the bodily symptoms, they started seeing the muhurats, the constellations and everything, and they decided all those things. So from there, Bhagwan in Gita, but what they were deciding is based on Gita only. So Bhagwan is giving hint of two times, the auspicious time and inauspicious time, which might give a hint that the soul's journey is in a right manner or not, okay, in a right place or not. So what is he saying? First one is saying, Agnir Jyoti, aha shukla shanmasha uttarayanam tatra prayata gachanti brahma vido janaha. Bhagwan says, those who know the Supreme Brahman attain that Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery god, in the light, at an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of the waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north. So here, even till date, some certain yogis who in India, certain yogis, they can decide when they want to die. They have done that hard work from childhood, and they decide the auspicious time and then they leave their body. So what are the auspicious times? Bhagwan says, Agnir, when it is daytime. Agnir Jyotir, when the sun, Agni means sun. When the sun is rising, sun's energy is there, okay? So, and the whole day, when the sun's energy is there, when there is fire, means when there is heat, at that time, if somebody leaves his body, during daytime, when sun's energy is rising, during that time. And so in the light, okay, and during some auspicious moments of the day. So there, we have auspicious moment, we have charts where what are the auspicious moments. So those auspicious moments, if somebody is leaving. Then the next one is Shukla Pakshaha. Shukla Paksha is the fortnight of the waxing moon. So Shukla Paksha, fortnight of the waxing moon, during the daytime when the sun is rising in its power, and during that time, and auspicious moments of the day, and during the 6 months of Uttarayana. Uttarayana means when the sun travels in the north. So usually from January 14th onwards, till the next 6 months, till June. January 14th is the western date I'm giving, but that is one muhurat. It starts from there till June 25th, around that time. So that is a time which is called Uttarayan. And during this period, if somebody dies, so these are all the auspicious moments. So during the fortnight of the waxing moon, from January till June, and during the daytime when the sun is rising, during daytime, if somebody is going at this time, then Bhagwan says, this kind of death is a good death. And I'll just read the purport. When the fire, light, day, and fortnight of the moon are mentioned, it is to be understood that overall all of them are various presiding deities who make arrangements for the passage of the soul. At the time of death, the mind carries one onto the path of a new life, the consciousness. Mind means the consciousness. The consciousness is carrying one to the path of a new life. If one leaves the body at the time of designated above, either accidentally or by arrangement, it is possible for him to attain the impersonal Brahma Jyoti. Mystics who are advanced in yoga practice can arrange the time and place to leave the body. Others who have no control, if by accident they leave at an auspicious moment, then they will not return to the cycle of birth and death. But otherwise, there is every possibility that they will have to return. However, for pure devotee in Krishna consciousness, there is no fear of returning, whether he leaves the body at an auspicious or inauspicious moment. Bhagwan has already been, in the beginning, he has said, if you remember me, you are coming to me. Don't worry about the moments. But this is for those jnanis who want to, live like this and who have practiced life like that. Second type of mystics, Bhagwan says, Dhumo ratri tatha Krishnaha Shanmasha Dakshinayana Tatra Chandramasam Jyotir Yogi Prapya Nivartate. The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet, but comes back again. So again here. So dhumo means night. When the moon is there. Okay. So when night starts, when the sun sets and night time has started, and fortnight of the waning moon, when the moon is waning, and 6 months when the sun passes in the south. So basically after June, from mid-June, June 25th onwards to again January 14th. So during these times, so one time is you're passing in the daytime, one time is you're passing in the night time. So in the night time, if you're passing in the fortnight of the waning moon, you're passing all this. In this time, if you pass, you will go through the Chandralok, through the moon planet, but you will always come back again. So in the third canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, Kapil Mani mentions that those who are expert in fruitive activities and sacrificial methods on earth attain the moon at death. These elevated souls live on the moon for about 10,000 years by demigod calculations and enjoy life by drinking the somarasa. They eventually return to earth. This means that on moon planet, there are higher classes of living beings, though they may not be perceived by the gross senses. So these are the two ways. There are other ways also, but these are the two indicators you can decide, okay, the journey of the soul is a good place or the journey of the soul is downwards. Okay. Shukla Krishna gati yete jagata shashvate mati ekaya yena vrittim ananya vartate punaha. According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from world. One is light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, that he does not come back. When one passes in darkness, he returns. So this same description is given in Chandogya Upanishad, and those who are fruitive laborers and philosophical speculators from time immemorial are constantly going and coming. Actually, they do not attain ultimate salvation, for they do not surrender unto Krishna. So Bhagwan is given. Now here, this shloka, especially 26 shloka, Bhagwan says, Shukla Krishna gati yete. There are only two ways. Either you pass in light or you pass in darkness. So one is you see the external signs. But the internal thing is, one who passes in light means one who is aware. Spiritually aware. One who is spiritually awakened. One who is no more in ignorance. One who is in full knowledge. That person, he is liberated. And one who passes in night means darkness. Darkness means ignorance. So one who passes in night, one who passes in darkness, one who passes in ignorance. Why they came, why they are going, they don't know. So that person definitely is going to come back again and again. So this also means passing in awareness and passing in self-awareness or passing without awareness. Passing like an animal. Okay. So you're going to come back again and again. Now, this is all for Gyanis, knowledgeable people. And now when we are listening to this, we are like, we don't know. We don't know what is going to happen. We do not know how to calculate. We do not know how to see the calendars. And now, people living in Western world, they don't even know the Hindu calendars. So what about the Western calendar? Now all these doubts might come. So what do? We do not know calendars. We do not even know how to control our death. We don't even know how to control our life. Forget about death. So what do? Bhagwan says, do not worry. You are my devotee, so you don't have to worry. Nete sthiti partha janan yogi muhyati kaschana tasmat sarveshu kaleshu yoga yukto bhava Arjuna. He says, oh Arjun, although my devotees know these two paths, you all know now, right? Although my devotees know these two paths, they are never bewildered. Na muhyanti kaschana. They are never bewildered. Therefore, my advice to you, Krishna says, Tasmat sarveshu kaleshu. Under all circumstances, yoga yukto bhava Arjuna. Be a yogi. Yogi, who is a yogi? A true yogi, Bhagwan said, in previous shlokas he has said, That yogi who is always thinking of me is the highest yogi. So under all circumstances, oh Arjun, keep thinking of me. That's it. Taking Bhagwan's name is your parachute. It can save you. You know, people when in Titanic, when people died, Titanic was sinking. So some people just jumped to the ocean with floaters. So if somebody has a floater, they are saved. Somebody saved themselves with a stick, they are saved. So for us, people like us, we do not know all this calculation, big things. Our savior is Bhagwan's name. So Bhagwan says, even though my devotee know about all this, they are not worried. Therefore, become my devotee. Yoga yukto bhava Arjuna. O Arjun, become a devotee. And you will come to me. Vedeshu yagyeshu tapaha suchaiva daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvam midam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. A person who has become a yogi, highest yogi is the one who has fixed his mind on me. He is the highest yogi. So such a person who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing sacrifices, undergoing austerities, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. Simply by performing devotional service, he attains all this, and at end, he reaches the supreme eternal abode. How easy he made it for us. I've read the purport, very beautiful purport. This verse is a summation of 7th and 8th chapters, which particularly deal with Krishna consciousness and devotional service. One has to study the Vedas under the guidance of a spiritual master and undergo many austerities and penances while living under his care. Bramhcharya has to live in the home of the spiritual master, just like a servant, and he must beg alms from door to door and bring them to the spiritual master. He takes food only under the master's order, and if the master neglects to call the student for food that day, the student fasts. These are some of the Vedic principles for observing Brahmacharya. After the student studies the Vedas under the master for some time, at least from age 5 to 20, he becomes a man of perfect character. Study of the Vedas is not meant for recreation of armchair speculators, but for the formation of character. Similarly with Gita. Gita is the essence of all Vedas. So it is not meant for speculation. It is meant for formation of character. After this training, the Brahmachari is allowed to enter the household life and marry. When he is a householder, he has to perform many sacrifices so that he may achieve further enlightenment. He must also give charity according to the country, time, and candidate, discriminating among charity in goodness, in passion, and in ignorance, as described in Bhagavad Gita. Then, after retiring from household life, upon accepting the order of Vanaprastha, he undergoes severe penances, living in forest, dressing with a tree bark, not shaving, etc. By carrying out the orders of Brahmacharya, householder life, Vanaprastha, and finally sannyasa, one becomes elevated to the perfectional stage of life. Some are then elevated to the heavenly kingdoms. And when they become even more advanced, they are liberated in the spiritual sky, either in the impersonal Brahmajyoti or in the Vaikuntha planet or Krishna Loka. This is the path outlined by Vedic literatures. The beauty of Krishna consciousness, however, is that by one stroke, by engaging in devotional service, one can surpass all these rituals of different orders of life just by chanting God's name. The words idam viditva indicate that one should understand the instructions given by Sri Krishna in this chapter and the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, One should try to understand these chapters not by scholarship or mental speculation, but by hearing them in association with devotees. Chapter 7 through 12 are the essence of Bhagavad Gita. The first 6 and the last 6 chapters are like coverings for the middle 6 chapters. So middle 6 chapters are very important. First 6 we knew till Sankhya Yoga. Now you're in the middle 6. It has all the essence, talking about exiting from this world, talking about bhakti, making life easier for us. We were going here and there with so many gods, so many deities, so many worship rituals, so many confusions, so many ways, so many methods. All that Bhagwan is like slowly clearing in this middle chapters. Middle chapters are like the essence. He starts from 7th onwards, Bhakti Yoga till 12th. So he will make it so easy for us, so easy. We don't have to worry about anything. We can live peacefully. We can have a very good spiritual life. Sometimes it is very daunting. Sometimes you feel like whether we will achieve that or not. As it is mentioned in the books, we have read some books in the past. This person did so much sadhana, that person did so and so. Sometimes it is very bewildering, like, overwhelming also. But here Bhagwan makes it so simple. He makes you feel so comfortable. Nothing. Only remember my name. Enjoy life. Eat well. Offer me food. Eat my food. Chant my name. Live life properly. Chant and be happy. That's all. Live easily. Don't have to get so worried, so pressured. Somebody must have done something. Bhagwan will answer all that also. Somebody must have done something. People are doing big yagyas. Let them do. Bhagwan has mentioned, it will come in 9th chapter. People are chanting, people are doing charities. Let them do. You are remembering my name, that's enough. That's enough. Bhagwan is saying, makes you comfortable. So the first 6 and the last 6 chapters are like coverings for the middle 6 chapters, which are especially protected by the Lord. If one is fortunate enough to understand Bhagavad Gita, especially these middle 6 chapters, in the association of devotees. And I'm telling you, I have seen people, middle 6 chapter when they come, especially 8th and 9th. This is so much of knowledge given here. I've seen people, for some reason, they will not be able to attend 8th and 9th. Gone. And if they're lucky, still they'll come back. But 8th and 9th, God has given so many things here. So, especially these middle 6 chapters in the association of devotees, then his life at once becomes glorified beyond all penances, sacrifice, charities, speculations, etc. For one can achieve all the results of those activities simply by Krishna consciousness. This is the last shloka. One who has a little faith in Bhagavad Gita should learn Bhagavad Gita from a devotee, because in the beginning of the 4th chapter, it is stated clearly that the Bhagavad Gita can be understood only by devotees. No one else can understand the purpose of Bhagavad Gita. One should therefore learn Bhagavad Gita from a devotee of Krishna, not from mental speculators. This is a sign of faith. When one searches for a devotee and fortunately gets a devotee's association, and one actually begins to study and understand Bhagavad Gita, by advancement in the association of a devotee, one is placed in devotional service. And this service dispels all one's misgivings about Krishna or God or Krishna's activities from form, pastimes, name, and other features. After these misgivings have been perfectly cleared away, one becomes fixed in one's study. Then one relishes the study of Bhagavad Gita, attains a state of feeling always Krishna conscious. What is always Krishna consciousness? You feel Krishna is with you all the time. We feel like world is all the time with us. We are always conscious about people around us. We are always conscious about situations around us. We are conscious of happiness and distress, failures and success. We are always conscious about that. But once you read Gita, then the way you see him as your friend, everywhere he'll say, I'm your friend, I'm your friend. 9th chapter will make it more clear. He'll say it from his mouth. When I'm saying, he talks like this. This is not shloka, this is not rituals. These are my best friend's words, our best friend's word. How easy he has made everything for us to achieve him. We were lost in so much jungles of books, gurus, teachers, methods, all like a jungle, spiritual jungle. Still not getting a path, still not getting a clarity what to do, still being doubtful whether we are on the right path. But once you read Gita, the more you read it, more, and you understand it, you will know. The confidence in you will increase more and more, more and more. You will know you are following the right path. The spiritual jungle you were lost is now gone. Now you're on the right path. You're going towards Krishna. You're going towards Krishna. And when you leave the body, you will go to Krishna. While living, he is always there with you. He's always there with you. He's your best friend. This is what is the Prabhupada writing. Attains the state of feeling always Krishna conscious. Krishna consciousness. In the advanced stage, one falls completely in love with Krishna. This is what happens. This jungle, many times when I try to teach people, my only request to them is, please understand the Gita, all the 18 chapters. Or always you will see me telling this. They want to achieve God. People come to me, I want to see God, I want to see this, I want to see that. I'm like, first read the Gita. Then I have seen students, they are very restless. They don't want to hear Gita. For some reason, they'll think this is something ordinary. How many times I've told this? And then they jump straight to my other videos. You cannot learn anything from other videos. I'm telling you, if you have not understand Gita. If I say, oh, higher than Gita is Srimad Bhagavatam, people will still want to jump to Srimad Bhagavatam. You will not understand Srimad Bhagavatam if you have not understood Gita. Oh, you will hear from somewhere, oh, you have to go to Radharani. Only Radharani can take you to Krishna. People straight away jump to Radharani. Or Sakhi Bhav is the greatest Bhav. People want to get into Sakhi Bhav directly. Not possible. Not possible to achieve that Sakhi Bhav, to that Radha Bhav, that Gopi Bhav. It is highest. It is not possible unless you fall in love with Krishna. Unless you know who Krishna is. Still your faith in Krishna is not strong. Because if your faith in Krishna is strong, you will love Gita. You will want to, if people say, oh, I attend Gita courses. They're like, Meri Gita ho gayi. My Gita is done. In my head, I'm thinking, nahi ho gayi. No, it's not done. You have still not fallen in love with Krishna. It's not done. If you really understood Gita, Krishna will not leave you. If you are in love with somebody, how that person just captures your mind. That person is always sitting in your head, talking to you, imaginary, in this world. I'm talking about worldly love. It happens, right? Everybody has experienced some time of their life. Here is Krishna. If you understood Gita clearly, this person will not leave you. He's always there. Under all circumstances, he's always there. How many times I've read Gita and how many times I've taught, I've lost count. But every time I read, every shloka I read, every class I sit, I feel I'm reading something new and my heart fills with that joy of Krishna. And you see that, you experience it. I go mad internally, out of love, out of happiness, out of joy. Every word he speaks, so beautiful. Gita is never a boring class for me. Never, 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 never. People talk of tattva, essence, whatnot they talk. They make it all diagrammatic, scientific, whatnot they do from Gita. They just analyze it like so much. For me, I feel like, what analysis? He's made it so easy, so easy. So the purpose of Gita to me is, you have to fall in love with Krishna. And if you have fallen in love with Krishna, I'm telling you, you will get to know everything. You are a Devi worshipper, you will see Devi. Because she is always with him. She's always with him. And I have quoted this in the end Shloka, last Shloka of this book. When we read Gita, it is said, Those who, wherever there is Arjuna, wherever there is Krishna, one thing is there forever, that is called Shri, Niti, Shri, Bhuti, it goes like that. That Shri, first Shri is that Yogini, Yogamaya, Radha, Lakshmi, Krishna, Radha, Lakshmi, Tripura, whatever you see. So Gita, we have finished 50% today, 50%. And here Prabhupada says the same thing. One relishes the study of Bhagavad Gita. How is that possible? Only the company of devotees. What Prabhupada is saying, this is the same thing, the company of devotees. Shri Krishna is again going to say in chapter 10, 4 shlokas, which are the soul of Bhagavad Gita. We'll read that later when we reach there. So one relishes the study of Bhagavad Gita and attains a state of feeling always Krishna conscious. In the advanced stage of one falls completely in love with Krishna. The highest perfectional stage of life enables a devotee to be transferred to Krishna's abode in the spiritual sky, Goloka, Vrindavan, where the devotee becomes eternally happy. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport to the 8th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita in the matter of attaining Supreme. So we finished 8th chapter today, 9th chapter we will start tomorrow. Okay, so we learned the times of auspicious and inauspicious times of death, but for a devotee, he does not have to worry. A devotee only has to develop his consciousness of chanting Bhagwan's name 24 hours a day. No strict rules and regulations, only chant his name. Okay, let me read your comments and then we'll end up the class. Pranam to everybody. Jai Shri Gurudev. Okay, Namaji, I answered you. Hare Krishna, thanks for the wonderful class. Sorry to leave, no worries. Kaliyug keval naam adhara simar nar utare hi para. Bilkul. Nama Sankirtan is the greatest boon given to us by the Lord in the Bhakti Karma Yogic patterns. Yes, yes. Yes, we do, Ma. Your love for Bhagwan is something which astounds me every day. You will also fall in love like this, Aman, when you get this joy of Gita. The evolution of newness is always experienced through reading the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, and a straight path is sapped to reach to the field of Lord's holy feet with love. Yes, yes. In fact, the chapter is actually training for preparing for a good death and effects thereon. Yes, 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 totally. All we have to die thinking of Bhagwan. That's all. All right. Aruna Agnotri, Sacred Bhagavad Gita. Wonderful, wonderful. Thanks for the contagious Bhakti, Ma. You're all welcome. Okay, so all of you have a Krishnamaya and a Krishna Lalitamaya day and night, and we will see you tomorrow. Jai Ma.
Thank you, Ma.
Haribol. Thank you.
Jai Ma. Hare Krishna.
Haribo.
Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.